Friday, April 1st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you, and as we have now flipped the calendar over to April, we are having milder conditions move in and a pretty significant warming trend coming over the next several days, culminating with some highs probably in the low 80s in a lot of spots Monday before a potent storm system rolls in Tuesday that could produce some severe weather in a lot of places. I'll get into that here as this video unfolds. Now, a lot of severe weather yesterday down in Florida. In fact, the big air show that's ongoing down there was hard hit. A number of the planes flipped over. Some structures collapsed in association with that, and just a lot of wind damage, especially around the Tampa Bay area. Other scatter reports elsewhere. Now, the radar is much quieter down in Florida this morning, but most of what you see here in the Northeast is snow. A very significant snow event in parts of Maine especially are really going to rack up on the snow over 1 foot in a number of spots before this system is said and done. There's the watch, warning, advisory situation. These are some freeze warnings still lingering early this morning in western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee, westernmost Virginia. These are all the snow products out for that snow that's flying in the Northeast. Temperatures this morning, it's still pretty cool. A lot of Piedmont locations dipping into the 30s this morning. And even though it is chilly, we're going to start the big warm-up as we go through the course of today. There's our upper air chart today. Still a trough in the eastern part of the country, but the main thing that's doing is pulling in drier air, and the warmer air is going to win the battle here as we go through the weekend. And a whole lot more sunshine even beginning today. Now, let's look at the severe weather probabilities at the day 4 and 5 circled areas there. This is probably going to wind up being a storm system early next week that produces severe weather in a lot of real estate, maybe one of those classic widespread severe weather producing systems beginning Monday in parts of the Mississippi up into the Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley regions down to the Gulf Coast, and then Tuesday that threat spreads into the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. More on that in just a second. Let's talk about today. We'll see a pretty good amount of sunshine mixed with some clouds, probably a partly cloudy sky for most of the Piedmont, highs 50s to maybe some low 60s, and then everybody up into the 60s tomorrow. But it's going to be a windy day. The pressure gradient pretty significant tomorrow. So we'll be looking at winds maybe gusting to 30, 35 plus miles an hour in the Piedmont, and of course even higher in the mountains. Sunday, upper 60s to low 70s. Now, this is Saturday here. Let me go out to Sunday, and the warm front will lift through on Sunday. Now, the NAM actually is more active with the warm front and prints out some rain opportunities Sunday. Most of the other modeling, though, is dry, and I've kept the forecast dry for the time being on Sunday, but highs by Sunday, upper 60s and lower 70s. And here we go, Monday, that system beginning to take shape. And let me go 12 hours later. That's a nasty area of thunderstorms on the GFS ripping through the lower Mississippi Valley into the Tennessee Valley up into parts of Kentucky as well. And then we go 12 hours later, and that shower and thunderstorm activity developing into Georgia and the western Carolinas during the morning hours Tuesday, and then it spreads east from there as the rest of Tuesday unfolds. Let me show you some of the other modeling's representation of this. This is the Canadian. Look at all that heavy rain. Parts of the Mississippi and Ohio valleys. This is Monday night. And then we go during the day Tuesday. This activity continues to develop eastward. The Canadian has a little bit of a different scenario here. It actually cuts off the southern end of this trough and winds up being more of a prolonged rain event for parts of the region. Kind of like what the European had with that cutoff low earlier, but the European is now squarely into that GFS camp of a full latitude trough coming through. This is Tuesday morning at 8 a.m., so that's the precip that has occurred on the European from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. Tuesday, and then there is the precip from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tuesday as the showers and storms pull on through. Up in the upper levels, here's the 500 millibar chart, 8 a.m. Tuesday on the European, and then here's the GFS, 8 p.m. Tuesday. So the GFS is a little bit slower with it, a little bit more of a neutral to attempting to be negative tilt to the trough. So yesterday was the European that looked a little bit more violent with the severe weather threat in the Carolinas. This morning it's the GFS. But either way, I think we're not going to have a wedge to kind of save the day this time around. Let's go back to this chart here. This time around it's just a pure south and southwesterly flow. Should be plenty of instability for the system to work with, assuming we can get those dew points to 60 degrees or so or higher. Behind that system will be dry again on Wednesday, pretty breezy, and by Thursday and Friday, especially Friday of next week, we really begin to warm things back up once again. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day here on this Friday. Have a great weekend, and God bless.